He can fly, or at least float. Hey everyone, welcome to Princess of Gay. I'm your host, Connie, and today we are here with episode 3 of Knuckles. So, yeah, it's actually more like hover, not fly, not float, but hover and gets lower and lower as he goes. Um, but either way, so last time we had Wade rescuing Knuckles from the clutches of the bad guys, and somehow it went well. Wade is not great at this, but he's giving it his all, and he somehow succeeded. And he and Knuckles are becoming closer through this. We see their bond continue to develop. Um, like I said last time, I don't get it. And what I don't get is not the show. I get the show, and I'm enjoying the show. I don't get why other people aren't. So many people, I keep seeing it, are saying that they don't like this show. Some people are even saying it's like the worst Sonic media in a long time, and I'm just like, what? And the biggest thing I see people constantly talking about is that, oh, Knuckles is a side character in his own show, and it's all about Wade, and it's like, no, it's not. That's just categorically untrue. It's about both Knuckles and Wade. Yes, Wade does share main character status, but that's no different than in the Sonic movies where I can't remember his actual name, Donut Lord, shares main character status with Sonic, especially in the first one. And people still love that movie. Yeah, they do complain a little bit about the human part of it. But honestly, that was more so in the second one that they complained about that. In the first one, that wasn't really that big of a complaint that people had. Like, some people said it, but it wasn't that notable. The second one, they complained about it a little more, but it's been something that I've just never understood. And I went through all this before. I'm not going to go through it all again. But it's just like, I don't get the complaint here. I'll leave it at that. It makes no sense to me. I think this is great so far. Knuckles and Wade are both giving an absolute fantastic showing. I'm really enjoying their characters. The way they're developing Wade as well is fantastic. After his appearances in the movies, I just think that this is proving to be an absolutely fantastic series to connect to the first two films and into the third. So I'm very excited to see where this all goes. I'm very excited to see how this series and its characters continue to develop. Even the human characters, yes. Because the human characters are good too, and we need to stop pretending like they're not. And they deserve to be here just as much. It's a stupid argument to say that it should only be the Sonic characters and the human characters shouldn't be here, or they should have less screen time. It's just, I've talked about this again. Not gonna like go into that all again here because I don't want to spend like 20 minutes ranting about that again. But yeah, this has been a fantastic show so far. Can't wait to see how it continues. This episode will put us about halfway through because there's 6 episodes. So yeah, I'm definitely interested to see if things start changing up any, if things start going in a different direction. Is the main villain going to get more involved? How is this going to end up turning? I guess there's really only one way to find out. So, all of that being said, before we begin, I do want to remind you all that we have an awesome array of great series reactions on this channel and other things as well. Monday through Friday, you can check out all of our series reactions, and on Mondays, we also do just absolutely awesome YouTube reactions or YouTube adjacent. Sometimes they're like one-off shorts or specials or whatever. Sometimes just random YouTube videos. It just kind of goes with what you guys have donated that don't quite fit into shows or movies. And speaking of, we do have movie reactions every Saturday and Sunday. Those are usually donation rewards from you all as well. And I record them during the week, but upload them during the weekend so that every day has something going on. We also are currently doing 2 different Let's Plays. We have on Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays Spider-Man 2. Really been enjoying this one. It's an absolute blast, even if I'm not that great at it. And yeah, I think that it's really sold itself on me. The first 9 parts, just keep in mind, will have some audio issues, especially 5 through 9. But starting on part 10, we should have that all fixed, so we should be Gucci going forward. We are also starting this week a Let's Play for Anno Mutationum. This is a donation reward Let's Play from Matthew Vasquez. And if you want to know how to donate for a Let's Play in the future, just go check out the announcement video for PS5 game reward months. You can find out all the info there on how to donate for a game. It's pretty simple. The video explains it all. So, all of that being said, thank you as always so much for tuning in. Let's get this going. When the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction because yes, we do redirect all of our reactions on this channel. I know it may not be the most fun way to watch it, but because of YouTube's copyright system, which you know YouTube, it's kind of crap, I just want to remain safe and this is the best way to do so. This helps us keep away from any possible channel strikes or even, God forbid, having the channel terminated. Dealt with that before, do not want to deal with it again, it's just terrible. So, just to keep safe, just to make sure we don't have those issues, we redirect everything to another site. But on the upside, that means all of you, and yes, I mean all of you, get to see the full unedited reaction for free. No paywall, no Patreon, and you don't even have to sync up your own copy. All you have to do is go to the link in the description below and watch it. Just the full unedited reaction for free. And after you do, you can come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will not only contain spoilers to the episode, but my just general thoughts on it and the series as a whole and various things like that as well. I would definitely suggest continuing to check it out just to get like my full thoughts after the reaction. But all of that being said, like I said, once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So I looked it up, and a couple things here. Wanda, Wade's sister, is Eddie Patterson, or Edie Patterson, however it's pronounced. She was in Knives Out. She was Fran in Knives Out. That's definitely where I recognize her from. But she's also done like some voice acting stuff, like additional voices in various things like We Bare Bears and whatnot, interestingly enough. But that's definitely the one big thing I know her for. Though she was also Jun Kazama in the 98 Tekken animated movie. So that's pretty fun as well. And the mom was played by Stockard Channing, who was Rizzo in Grease. So that's a thing. And it's like, oh, I would not have guessed that. But okay. This was another great episode. I don't get it. I don't get the complaints. And I'm going to keep saying that, I'm sure, but it's like this was fun. This was funny. It was interesting, and we got a lot of good character development for Wade. It's like, yeah, there's a lot of focus on Wade, and it's like, I don't see the issue with that. Like, people saying, like, Knuckles is a secondary character or a side character while Wade is the true main character of the series, it's like, that's just not true. They're both equally main characters. And while this does do a lot to develop Wade, that's because he needed it, for one. And for two, Knuckles doesn't really have a lot to develop. There's not really a lot there outside of, making him understand humanity more. And the way to do that is to have him interact with another character, a human character, and to develop alongside the human character. He sees humanity and gets to learn about humanity through another character who's developing throughout the series. That's just how you would do that. I don't understand how that's a bad thing. It's like Knuckles' development in this is all about learning from Wade's development. And that just feels natural. That just feels right. He's discovering more about humanity and learning to appreciate it more. We see how close he and Wade are becoming. Like at that moment where like the guy is like in Wade's room and he's like and Wade sees Knuckles coming through the energy and everything. He's like, I have a best friend. He's super powerful, and I'm his favorite student, and you're gonna be in trouble. It's like I was almost expecting at that moment something silly to happen, like oh he was gonna like walk past at first, or it wasn't actually gonna be him somehow, like it was gonna be one of the bad guys. But no, he comes in and he actively does protect and save Wade because that bond has been forged. And although Knuckles still doesn't understand a lot of stuff, like that's just to be completely understood because he's an alien and everything and it's all very new to him. It's like you still get to see how it's all coming together. You see their bond grow, and you even see Knuckles learn a little bit from Wade's mom and stuff too, making it so that the rest of the family being in this wasn't like just some random decision or some like needless choice. It actually matters to Knuckles' development. So like I don't see the issue. All of this is helping with the story and with Knuckles' character. It's like this is great. And we find out some big information in this too about Wade's history with his father. How he and his father used to seemingly be like on really good terms, kind of inseparable. But it kind of just very suddenly happened when he abandoned them. And the reason that Wade wants to go to Reno so bad is to confront him because his father is a bowling champion and is going to be there. Pistol Pete Whipple. So that's pretty fascinating in its own way because that adds more depth and character to Wade, but also to this entire journey. This entire journey to get to the bowling tournament is kind of centered on this trauma that Wade has from his past. And that's awesome. That's great. I mean, it's not awesome in that way. You know what I mean. It's awesome in terms of like it's great writing. It's really cool to see the writers taking this route. And I'm just like really really enjoying this. This has been just like really good. Wade's sister, don't like her as a character. Well, I mean, I like her as a character. She's a well-written character. I just don't like her because she's a piece of shit. And here's the thing. I've had fights with my siblings and all. But we always would like make up and we'd like play games together and stuff. And it mostly centered around my brother. Me and my brother, when we were growing up, especially when we were living in Georgia at the time, we would fight a lot, like physical fighting, like actually throwing punches and trying to beat the shit out of each other. And I can't explain to you why. I cannot tell you for the life of me why we did that. Honestly, it makes no sense to me. It's like there was never. I don't feel like there was ever really a reason. Like we just fought, and I don't entirely understand why. But we did, and we made up, and we would like play games and stuff together. But it's like we kind of were at odds with each other for quite a while, and obviously that's well behind us now. But still, um, the thing is though, we were both kids then. This is an adult woman actively choosing to start shit with her also adult brother for no reason than antagonizing him. Like when they were kids, like it showed them as kids, like fighting and everything during the Shabbat. That's one thing. They're kids. Kids fight. It's stupid, but it happens. But they're adults now, and Wade we know isn't like the most mature necessarily. He has also some mental health issues that he goes through, which he actually directly said in this episode. His mental health is not great, especially after all of this shit he's been put through just in this episode. But we get kind of the feeling for that because his sister is like just so actively abusive and confrontational. I don't know if it's like she like doesn't like that he gets certain amounts of attention or whatever else, but she actively caused all these problems. And mind you, like they did kind of come together in the end, but it's like that animosity wasn't resolved. And all outside of the bounty hunters invading, like every problem they had there was caused by her. All of the fighting and arguing and all of the shit going down, like ruining the Shabbat dinner, was entirely her fault. Like Wade was just, defending himself, responding in kind because he was like being attacked. She fucking stabbed him with a fork. Like actually penetrated his skin with it. Like I'm sorry, there's not really forgiving that at that point. And the mother is just like acting like they're both causing problems, and she's not really helping in that matter because it's like it's not both of them. Wade's not doing anything wrong. Wade has every right to defend himself. He has every right to fight back when he's getting literally attacked. I wouldn't say his mother is abusive or even like super neglectful, but I would say that she just doesn't take it as seriously as she should. She just doesn't seem to understand how abusive and just terrible her daughter is towards him. And it's very clear that she wants the family to come together, but she just doesn't do anything to fix it either. And it's just disappointing. And again, I'm not saying that that the writing or anything is bad. The characters and the writing are good. Because that's what's supposed to be shown here. Wade comes from a broken family. He comes from a situation where things are not good. And that's led him to be kind of the dopey, silly, childish man he is. He never had a chance to grow up because of how he was always treated. Again, his father abandoned him, his sister is exceptionally abusive, and his mother just doesn't do anything to stop it. Like, how would you expect someone in that situation to grow up? It's not very well. I can tell you that much. It actually explains his character very much and gives a lot of depth to him. Instead of just being the goofy comic relief character, this actually gives it like a sad, like sorrowful, just core to his character. It makes him feel more complete in a genuinely good way. And it makes me, as the viewer, sympathize with him and even empathize with him. I know what he's going through. I've been there to certain degrees. Maybe not exactly the same way, but still. Not to mention, this episode also went into Jewish culture a bit, talking about Shabbat and Jewish foods and stuff. Um, all of which that were focused on, at least, maybe not all of them that were shown, but all the ones that were focused on, I have tried. I have had the fish. I can't think of the word right now. Gefilte? Gefilte, I think is it. I have had that, though. I've had matzo ball soup. I've had challah, which wasn't focused on, but it was shown. It was the big knotted looking bread. I have had that. And there's other Jewish foods I've definitely had as well. I just can't think of off the top of my head right now. But I like that they're giving a look into that. I really do. I think that's just cool to see cultural stuff being brought in. And I don't want to hear, by the way, I don't want to hear anyone like try to like argue that that's like tone deaf or anything right now because of the entire shit that Israel's doing. Because one, you can't and shouldn't blame all Israeli people or Jewish people in general for the actions of the Israeli government, the evil, horrific, just disgusting actions that they're perpetuating. Not all Jewish people are responsible for that. And it shouldn't affect Jewish culture being seen in media. Also, on top of that, this series has been like, what, a year or two in the making? It's like this was probably already in the works before that started, so to be fair. At least since the recent shit started, like really started. And just to make it clear, if it's not already clear, I side with Palestine in all of this. I am on Palestine's side. I am very anti-Israel in this entire war situation, if that's not clear. But again, we should not be punishing all Jews for the actions of the Israeli government. That's not right. That's just not okay. So I just wanted to make that clear in case anyone wanted to bring that up. And also, again, share my stance on it. I believe the statement is like, from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. It's like, I am very much on Palestine's side. Fuck the Israeli government. They should be tried for war crimes by the United Nations. And honestly, Biden needs to get his head out of his fucking ass and do something. Because, like, they're bombing Rafah right now, or just recently or something. It's like, we really need to do something about that. But I don't want to, like, flood this video with just that. But just, yeah, if you're not on Palestine's side, it's like, honestly, kind of fuck you. Because it's like, there's one side to this that is right. And mind you, there's nothing wrong with wanting the, like, innocent people in Israel to be out of this situation too, because it's not their fault either. It is absolutely not their fault. But with what Israel is doing, it's like all the war crimes and shit, we need to talk about that. So I'm not ashamed to bring that up here. It's just, I wanted to make it clear because of the Jewish focus in this episode, where my stance was with that. Though, I mean, honestly, if you've been watching my channel for any notable length of time, you would probably already understand where I stood with that kind of thing. Um, I'm not exactly like surprising in that regard. So, yeah, it should be pretty much understood. But if you're new to the channel, welcome. And that's my stance. There you go. So, yeah. But yeah, I like that that was included in here, though, the Jewish culture and whatnot. And I like seeing just more of like Wade's inspirations and the things that he used to, have comfort and everything in his young life. And like even stuff that's obviously meant for comedy, like the cardboard cutout of the American gladiator chick. It's like that's I think a very reasonable thing that a lot of people do have done when they were kids. Like I know myself and the friends I've had would like have like posters or whatnot of like people we thought were attractive, and we would like kiss those posters and stuff. And it's like that's very natural. It's like hugging and stuff. A cardboard cutout of a person you find to be attractive is something kids do. It's the kind of thing that just happens. It's not wrong, it's natural. It's not weird, it's not goofy or, ridiculous or anything. It's just a normal thing. And so it's like, yeah, it's okay. I feel like they went a little hard on the joke, but yeah. And then you have like all these movie posters and stuff. Like there was RoboCop and Rambo, and it's like, yeah, interesting. It shows like the kind of things that shaped Wade in a way, and especially with his father not being around to give him a lot of that. Although he did keep a poster of his father there too, even after his father left, clearly, and it's like and it's made very clear as well when his mother calls Pete a schmuck. Wade's like, he's not a schmuck, he's my father, and he walks away all like really like upset by that, because it's like he still has some love in there for him. Again, it's made clear that they were close prior to his father abandoning him. And it's like he's still like he wants to have that closure. He wants to know why, and that's why he's trying to get to Reno. He wants to know why he abandoned him in the first place, and he's not ready to let him go until like something is said there. And I think that's very realistic too, very believable. He's holding on to that hope that maybe there was some misunderstanding or something else happened, even though there probably isn't. It probably was just him abandoning his family. And for what reason, we don't know. We'll probably find out, but still. This was the point. The point is, this was another great episode. I'm loving this series. I don't in any way get the hate. And I'm very excited to see more. It's fantastic. But that being said, we do have other fantastic stuff to check out on the channel. Every Monday through Friday, we have a plethora of awesome series reactions. And on Monday, we even do YouTube or YouTube adjacent reactions. Anything that doesn't quite fit into the mold of a series, a movie, etc., etc. Basically, anything that is like a short, a special, a one-off, anything like that, or just a regular YouTube video. That's the kind of stuff we do for that time slot. We also do movies, though, on Saturdays and Sundays. They are recorded earlier in the week, but they're uploaded on the weekends just so every day has something going on for it. And we are currently going through 2 Let's Plays as well. On Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, we are doing Spider-Man 2. Both of these Let's Plays, by the way, are on the PS5. I'm really enjoying Spider-Man 2. It's been really fun, a great story, good gameplay, even if I'm not great at it. But I will say that parts 1 through 9 have some audio issues, especially 5 through 9. So just keep that in mind. They're still really fun. I still had a lot of great times with them. And the audio issues are fixed starting in part 10. I figured out what went wrong and I got it pretty much entirely fixed. So we should be good moving forward. Um, all of that being said, though, also, I almost forgot. We are also doing a Let's Play on Saturdays for Anno Mutationem. This is a donation reward Let's Play for Matthew Vasquez. It is going to be every Saturday starting this week, and it's going to be longer parts than the Spider Man parts will be. Basically, just an entire recording session each time. And if you want to know how to donate for a Let's Play in the future, just go to the announcement video titled PS5 Game Reward Months. That will give you all the information you need. You can find it real easy by doing a channel search, and you should be able to get all the information needed in order to make a donation for a game in the future if you desire to. It's all optional, of course, but if you want to, it would be a great way to handle that. So, all of that being said, thank you as always so much for tuning in. Let me know your thoughts on this episode down in the comments below, and just in general on this series so far. No spoilers for the future episodes, of course, but for now, I'm Connie and I'm signing off. See you all next time.